Okay, so thank you guys so much for hopping on. Happy Thursday. We are so excited because it is what, just under, is it 3 weeks, a little less till Summit? No, I can't do, what's today? Today the 29th? No, it's the 22nd. Okay, 1, 2, so yeah, we've got like 3 weeks. And so I'm so excited to see your faces, but also I am so excited for you guys to be able to try Shift Shop when it comes out. So who got to try the sneak peek? Good. What did you guys think of it?
It was good. It was hard.
It was hard, yeah. Did they do the 25-minute one?
Yeah.
Okay. So how it works is, I'm just going to explain it really quickly because you'll probably get questions. And what I've been doing is like, posting pictures about it and talking about it, and then saying like, sign up here and you can do a free WooFoo form, whatever, you can have them email you. But saying like, if you want to pre-order, it launches, July, I have to see exactly when are we at Summit? It's probably like the weekend that we're at Summit. So let's see.
I think.
What time?
16th.
I think it's the day we get there, on the 12th.
On the 12th? Okay. Yeah, so I've just been like, if you want to pre-order, fill out this form here, and then it like sends them an email. But you can just do like a WooFoo form and then send out like an email. You can actually export everybody that like fills out that form and then send them a message. And I can show you what I did. I basically just put something together and said, if you want to order, click here. Then I gave them the all access link. But I'm telling them that's how they pre-order, because if they have the all access now, then as soon as it comes out, like they'll have it. So that's basically how I am marketing it, and that's been helpful. So yeah, make sure that anybody that you had do a 2-week trial for Sean Week, make sure that you remind them to cancel their trial, because you want them to, you preferably, kind of talk to them about what's next and inviting them to our challenge group, and cancel that and sign up with a CP. Also, the 26th, I believe the new challenge pack will be available, where they can get the Shaco and the Portion Fix. If they're already BOD members, they can do that. So that could be a challenge pack where you'll get 2 successful points, from somebody that, if they're already a BOD member. And I think I saw 26th is when that launches. So we've got some really awesome stuff. And so you just need to just talk it up, hype it up, talk about, I'm so excited. Our business is expanding. It's growing like crazy. We're launching into the UK. Talk it up and talk to people about how awesome, it is to be a part of something that's just, we are just in the US right now. We are about to go global. And so, kind of really, really talk that up. So, talking about pre-ordering Shift Shop, and Krista has the transformations for all the Shift Shoppers. If you want to start making a post, you can do a post every Tuesday kind of talking about Shift Shop, or you could even do like a week before Summit. You can do like, okay, today's daily, this, and share one every day kind of thing in prep for the launch. So what I wanted to, I asked Heather to host our call tonight because she has had such awesome success with getting her coaches started right. She has coaches that start off right off the bat, and they are killing it, hitting Success Club, selling challenge packs their first week, making awesome new coach posts, and then becoming Emerald, which is honestly the hardest part, is getting your coaches to duplicate it, because, a lot of times coaches feel like they want to learn everything. They want to watch everything. They have to learn everything before they can do. And so I don't know what Heather's been doing. I'm going to have her tell us, but she's been focusing them on, and they've been taking action, because I can't tell you enough how important it is to tell people like, read Go for No, because it teaches you like, just go do, and you can figure it out. If it doesn't work, tweak it. But that is exactly what Heather's coaches have been doing. So Heather, we found each other on Instagram, and then I, stalked her for a while, and I remember, I would always like talk to her about, her puppy. And did you have 2 dogs at one time? Yeah, and yeah. So so I remember like talking to her about our puppies and being like, I know this girl's going to join us. And I just always checked in, and I knew that we had that dog thing in common. This was before, you know, I had any babies. So that's what we would always talk about. And she loved camping, which I do too. And so I remember she was like, I really want to do it, but we're just moving, and my husband really doesn't want me to, you know, put anything out. I'm not allowed to put anything on the card, or, you know, that when you're like, you know, about to move, you're not allowed to do anything with credit or anything. And so I said, okay, no problem. And I remember I kept stalking her, like, is she in her new house yet? You know, just because I had her on my list, and I would be like, okay, let me see. And so I would just be like, hey, are you all settled in? And, you know, I kind of knew, like, you're not going to, the day you get into her house, that's not the last thing on your mind. But I just kept trying to stay in touch with her because I really wanted her to join us. And so I think it was it June? Yeah. So it was June, and I had like 4 coaches about from May to June that wanted to work the business. So I paired them up, and that's how Rachel and Heather met. And Kayla, I had another girl that's since quit, but I am a creeper. But then also Kayla Creel joined about that time too. And so I had them all, they were on our team cup together. I made them go live and coach events, and we had just had a great time. And that was kind of when I first started doing little pods, when, you know, coaches started about the same time putting them together. And that has been so successful that I've been continuing to do that. So when you get new coaches, and if you're not like a huge recruiter, I don't want you to be like, oh, well, I don't have any other new coaches. Reach out to us, talk to us, because we would love to get our coaches paired with you. Right now I have a group, it's like 3 of my coaches and 1 of Heather's coaches, and they talk all the time. I love it. They're always chatting. They're creating awesome relationships. So yeah, without further ado though, Heather is a diamond coach, and she was actually able to quit her teaching job, and she's home as a full-time mama of 2, fur mom, and coach and wifey. So she is awesome, and she's going to tell us how she gets her coaches started right, and she's just, everything she says, just take note of it, because she's rocking it. So go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much for that introduction. So sweet. Okay, so first off, let me just tell you that I am nervous and excited, and I can't believe, I feel like this is like come around full circle, and I can't believe that I'm like hosting a call right now. It's like very, very exciting and awesome and cool. So I was thinking as April, you were talking about how, like, I don't know what it is that she's doing, and I'm like, haha, I threaten them. I tell them, like, you better do this, you better, like, yeah, no. You know, the biggest thing that I feel like I have, like, my number one thing as I was thinking about, like, how I'm going to prepare for this call, the number one thing that I keep coming back to is lean in, like, just lean in, lean in, lean in. So by that, I mean, I want to know who this person is before I figure out where, you know, how they're going to be or where they're at. I want to know, like, who they are and how they learn. So that goes into their personalities. And I know, April, you had us do a personality test, like right when we were kind of in the beginning, and that was really cool because it kind of showed us like how we learn. And so I haven't necessarily done a personality test with my coaches, but I kind of do that on my own. So I just really lean into them. I want to know everything about them. I want to know everything about their life. I want to know why they're doing this, their huge why, and then I lean into that. So then I can coach them based on how, you know, where they're at in their life, what it is that they're working towards. So like right now, a few of my coaches, they really are rocking out, but they are so different, and they have completely different whys, and they're going about their coaching business completely different. And I feel like that's kind of key here, because I didn't just blanket train them. You know, I didn't just kind of throw them all together and think, you know, these are my coaches and this is how we're going to do things, and it's going to be like this, 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 and this. I wanted to target each person and figure out how it is that they want to coach and how it is that they learn. So to do that, just, you know, figuring out their kind of personalities. And I keep thinking, like, those of you who have kids, you know, you can have 2 completely opposite children. You parent them exactly the same, yet they are 2 completely different kids. So you need to learn how to parent towards that child, how to parent towards the other child, you know, and that's the same thing with coaching. And leaning into your coaches. It's the same concept. So that's like the biggest thing, I think, is just don't put everybody into like one big blanket, under one big blanket, and think that everybody's going to learn the same, everybody's going to have the same goals, everybody is going to, grow the same, because they're not. So once you kind of figure out where it is your coaches are, then you can target, how it is that you can help train them. So like say I've got one that's like, her big why is she wants to quit her job like as soon as possible. So her goal is like business building. I have another coach who she is, she's on this call. She just loves to help people. So she loves so much to help our challengers. So she's just diving in, and she dove in immediately to our challenge group, and it's just like the motivator of the group. She's commenting on every single person's posts. She's messaging people that aren't necessarily that aren't even her clients. She dives in, and so they're just completely different, coaches and doing different things, but they're growing their businesses. So I can't say enough about that. Just figuring out who your coaches are. And then, so the very first thing I do is, I talk to them obviously one-on-one and figure out what it is that they want first in this. And then obviously the new coach checklist. So if you don't have a new coach checklist, that's huge. You can take April's and you can edit it to be, for your team. But you need to get that coach checklist out to them right away as soon as they sign up, so they can start working through it. And then I just check in with them as they're doing it. Like, what day are you on? How are you doing with this new coach checklist? Some of them are going to do the whole thing that same day, and some of them are going to take a few days or maybe even a couple weeks to get it done. But just, going through that new coach checklist with them and answering any questions that they have. In the new coach checklist, for any of you who haven't done it or who don't have one, there's all kinds of like training videos in there. And so I know what the videos are, so I love to talk with them. Like, what did you think of Coach Caleb's, video about this? Like, wasn't that awesome? And just kind of let them know that, where they're at with that. So checking in with their, how they're going with their checklist. And then plugging them into the new coach training, obviously. Hopefully everybody knows that. And you can create your own coach training, or you can use April's, which is what I've been doing. And then welcoming them to your challenge group. I mean, I know like that's a big thing when I sign new coaches. They're like, how am I ever going to do a challenge group on my own? Like, how am I going to do this? I do not encourage them to just go off and do their own challenge group. It's so much more, team oriented when you guys are in a challenge group together. So, and I think that's the best way to learn, is they're just watching you, and, they're kind of slowly becoming more involved in your challenge group. And you can also coach them through that. Obviously, you can just, explain to them, like, can you, even when you're doing your private team calls, hey, who wants to jump in this week in our challenge group and do a live video? Or it's those little things that you kind of, challenge them to do in your challenge group. Whereas if they're just supposed to do their own challenge group, it just helps when they're in your challenge group. So I like my coaches to be in my challenge group for at least 3 months, and they can stay for as long as they want. So, I do talk to them about kind of staying with me until they're comfortable. And that can be forever, Katie. So the next thing is personal development. Obviously, we all know how important that is. And I recommend go for no first, because getting those no's in the very beginning is terrible, and you feel so defeated and you feel like this isn't for me. And for them to jump into that, go for no, it's just, I think that's really important. So that's the first thing I recommend that they read or listen to. And then just have a list of your favorite personal development audiobooks or books that you recommend to them. I also like to send them, I usually send them like an Audible sample or an Audible book, or I send them the Go for No for like a welcome gift. And to follow top coaches, that's the other thing. I tell them who the top coaches are to follow, and use that as almost like part of their PD. So constantly be reading, constantly be listening to Melanie Mitro's, videos that she puts on her Business Tip Tuesdays, and just plugging them into people that would encourage them in their business. And then I like to sit down with them or on a team call and talk about the strategic planning. So with that, I talk about how it is you become Emerald, why you want to become Emerald, and show, I take a look at their I have them either screenshot me or we go in together in the team call and I can see their personally sponsored, downline, and I can explain to them where it is and how that they get to Emerald and why they want to get to Emerald first. So at that point, then I talk to them about signing their spouse as kind of the first person that they should hop on. And as soon as they have another coach to sign on their spouse. So what I was doing, since things have kind of changed now with the All Access Pass, but I have always been, pushed for discount coaches. I know that's kind of different now because with the All Access Pass, they're not really saving anything to be a discount coach now. But so in the past, that's kind of what we kind of strategized was to get their spouse and then another discount coach, and that kind of gets them, where they want to be. But things are a little bit different now, so we're not really pushing discount coaches. But yeah, so I talked to them about their strategic plan on how to get to Emerald and then why they want to get to Diamond and how they're going to get to Diamond. And then we just keep bringing it up, as they, sign a new coach here and there. I'm like, okay, well, now you're closer here. And the next step is to go here, and just staying right with them and explaining every step of the way and talking about placement. One of my coaches, I think it's every single day she's asking me, okay, she's showing me something. Okay, now for my next one, I'm going to place them here and I'm going to place them underneath my, husband on this side. And she's just, she's really into where her placement is. And so yeah, explaining placement to them. What else? Team calls, obviously we have, this team call, but I like to do at least a weekly call with my coaches, just our little pod, and to explain to them that this is our team call as a group, and then we also have a team call just with my coaches. And in conjunction with that, we have a group message, obviously. So any kind of questions we have as a team, we throw into this group message, and I also send little snippets of personal development maybe every other day. I send it some sort of link for them to listen to, or a little challenge that I have for them, just randomly out of the blue. I'll say, all right, today we are going to I don't know what an example is, go live, or today our challenge is whatever it is for the day, and I just randomly plug out a challenge for them. So that's kind of that's like our little mini pod, and I love our group little chats. And that's one thing, like April said, that was really successful for Rachel and Kayla and I, was to have that group chat and talk. And so we have kind of branched out and have a couple other different pods. One of my coaches is like April said, in another little pod too. And it's just a great way for them to get ideas from other people and just kind of have a group talk. So what else? Setting up success days. So once you kind of know how your coaches are working and what it is that they need, and kind of their the way that they want to build their business and their personalities, you can fit them in with a success team. So that doesn't mean that it has to be on your team, that you could have just one coach, but you want, like April said, you want to find somebody that you think would work well with them. So you could find somebody in BU. It's almost like you can put a little wanted ad on BU and be like, hey, I've got this coach, and she's a single mom, and she's wants this and has this, and is there anybody that's interested in becoming a success partner with? And just plugging them in with somebody that they can really relate to, in addition to your pod. And as some of you may know, that's like really what took Rachel and I's business to the next level, is having each other as success partners. And we talk every day. If we don't get on the Zoom in the early morning, then we talk on the phone, or we Zoom or we text or whatever. We're constantly talking. So that's huge, you guys, is to set up your coaches with a success partner. And even if you're their success partner for a while, you can definitely be their partner and be doing your calls, your power hours with them. That's another thing too I want to talk about, is getting them together in power hours. So you can do power hours with your team. You can set up a time, in the mornings to do your power hours every day together, or you could set up 2 of your coaches together to do their power hours. So that's been pretty successful for us too. And some things may change too. You may set somebody up with somebody and it just doesn't really flow, and that's happened in our team. And they're not really, not that they're not getting along, but they're not just the greatest success match. And so you just move on and you find somebody else that they can take off with. And then once they do, it's like they've found like their, you know, success mate. They're like, this is the person, I'm so glad we talk every single day, and she's pushing me and I'm pushing her, and it's great. And, you know, that's just exciting to see your, you know, your team and your tribe moving forward. I just have to say, I was talking with my my little team the other day, and we were on a Zoom call, and all of a sudden, like, I had this like, like, this is my tribe. These are my girls. And it's like, I was so excited and like proud and happy. And like, I had finally like had my own little group, and we are amazing and loving doing this together. So it's so cool once you have that little group. And even if it's just you and one other coach, you know, you just get so excited that you have somebody that you're working, you know, with this together and doing this together. So yeah, so I think that's kind of what I have. Does anybody have any questions? Or I haven't read the chat. I don't know if there's questions in there. But does anybody have any questions that you want to ask?
Does anybody, let's see, I think who, Rachel or Melissa, do you have anything to add that you have found is helpful for your new coaches?
I start them in a little group chat. I really like the coach training, and something that I'm working on implementing is the new welcome email. I actually have to run in like 2 minutes, so I'll go through that really quickly. And that was shared by Danielle Natoni at the Philly Fusion, and Greg can finish on this if I have to leave, but she just has a very simple welcome email, and it kind of lets her know who's serious about it, because there are like 3 things that you need to do in the welcome email. And she's like, if people can't do that, I don't get on the phone with them. And so you're not wasting, and they're easy things to do. Like, you have to send her a text message. You have to add yourself to these groups and introduce yourself. And then you have to fill out a form and email it back to her. And if you can do those 3 things, then you get a call with her, a getting started right call, and then she will work with you from there. And I really like that, because I feel like sometimes we get a coach and we're all like, yes, I got to put all my eggs in this basket, and then they don't show up. And so I really I'm going to start implementing that to see who's in this with me, because, you know, it really is like work with the willing. And it seems like, you know, Heather is attracting some willing coaches. And I'll also say that she posts about the business a lot. Like, she posts about working the business a lot. So she gets working coaches. And so if you want to have coaches who want to work the business, you have to talk about it like a business. And that's really all my 2 cents. I'm sorry, I got to hop off. Heather, you rock.
Yay, thank you. Can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Yay!
I think that's a great idea, doing that like email, because I agree. It's like you get new coaches and you get so excited, and you're just like, they're going to be as pumped as I am about this opportunity, and they might not be at the same spot you are. So you like come off as this crazy person, like, oh my God, let's do all this stuff together. And then they're like, who's this creeper? Like, I'm not ready for that.
Let's party, yeah.
I got my champagne.
Yeah. I think the best thing too is just to like kind of just, you're welcoming them, and you're going to, you know, talking up how much they're going to love this tribe, and telling them the best thing you can do is be engaged in our team page. Comment on something when you either know the answer to help somebody, or if you don't know, comment so you can be like, yeah, I don't know this either, so that when somebody does answer it, you can see it. But, you know, really trying to engage with other people, because when you're just like, okay, you know, a lot of times people get kind of nervous being in a bigger group, like Melissa, when she was like, oh good, I love small groups, and so many people, you know, just feel better asking questions, and, you know, nobody wants to seem like the stupid person, you know, and no question is ever stupid, but a lot of people work better that way, which is another reason why pods are so great. But I just can't tell you guys enough how many resources are, you know, in our team page already, in our Google Drive. You know, if you go on our my YouTube, I've got, you know, all of our past team calls are there. There's just so much good stuff. And I think honestly what I love doing is like what Heather said, is following top coaches. And I love seeing, like, they're obviously successful for a reason. If you look at their social media, it's like top notch. I'm like, okay, that is definitely something. And so I'll see something from somebody that I love following and I'll tweak it and make it my own. I'm never copying and pasting, but if you see something from another coach and you're like, oh, I love that, like, take it and make it your own and run with it. That's exactly what I do all the time. So, nobody's going to care as long as you're not like copy paste, like that's icky. Don't do that. But yeah, absolutely. That's how we all learn, is taking it and, taking others and learning from others and growing. So.
Yeah, I have one more thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot. Is you will have coaches that you think are going to be awesome or that you're excited about, and they will fall off. Mm-hmm. You have to not take it personally, and you have to not think that you did something wrong. Because if you are doing what you are doing what you're, should be doing, and you're, following up with them, and you're helping, doing what you need to do to help them, and they just fall off, that's on them. That is not on you. And it's happened plenty of times to me. It's happened to, Rachel. It happens. And yeah, it happened. Yeah, April.
April.
I can't tell you.
God love her.
Lost track. No, I have no idea. I probably
like
signed
it's
up
a
like
daily
400 coaches, and I like might have like a fourth of that.
Yeah, but you just cannot. It does not have to do with you. It has to do with them, and that's not their thing, and they were not meant to be in your tribe. And that's just that. And you cannot take it personally, and you cannot think that you failed and that you're not good at this because, And the thing about me, like, and I'm guessing a lot of people are like this, like, I see so much potential in some of these people. And I can like picture, I am like really big at visualizing. I visualize where I want to be. I visualize where I want other people to be. I'm constantly visualizing. So I can see these coaches, and I see them in the future, and I'm like, this person's going to be amazing, a top coach. And I see so much potential, and they're like, out, drop off the face of the earth. And I'm like, no, you don't understand what I see for you. But you can't make them. You cannot create a coach. They have to do it on their own.
Yeah. But you know what the other thing is too, is that truly coaching is not for everybody. It's not like hey, do you want to buy my stuff? Boom, here's my link. Hey, do you want to do this? It really is where you have to focus on building relationships. And if I get people that are like, I really don't like people and my friends suck and blah, 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 I'm like, this is probably not for you, And I have had a couple coaches that, realize that coaching isn't for them, but they want to be challengers because they love the products. And so I don't want anybody to ever think like, you're not coaching, you're dead to me. You know what I mean? So I have had so many coaches quit, but they continue to be rockstar challengers. I have one girl who literally has bought probably 12 or 13 challenge packs, and she signed up to coach, and she was like, I just don't want to be a coach. And like, she didn't have a why. She didn't need anything financial. She's already super motivated. Like, and she didn't like messaging people for this. Like, she will send people to my way all the time, but like, that's fine. And like, if you want to be a challenger, I want to support you where you need to be at. And so, that's the other thing too, is like, people will come and go, but when they tell you, it's just not for me, just, you can bless it, bless and release them. Don't let them, like we said, don't think that it's your fault, but also, okay, well, tell me about you. Like, I totally get that. Like, what are your fitness goals? How can I help you? And I think that that's like truly, what sets you apart as, an awesome coach, is showing them that it doesn't matter, if you're not a coach or not, I still want to help you. And I've gotten a lot of great response from that, instead of being like, okay, bye. So,
yep.
Yeah. It's just truly not for anybody. And, the people that are here, and that, keep showing up every day, I can't tell you enough that in the beginning, it's just like you started a new business, like you are you are running a business from the ground up. And, Greg can tell you, he has his own business. It takes time to, build trust with people, build, clientele, and, have your clientele come back for more. And so I think the other thing is that I don't do enough, that I'm really starting to do this month, is focus on the importance of the ingredients of Shakeology, and talking about why our products are so awesome. Because I don't want people thinking like, oh, I'm at my goal now, I don't need Shakeology. Because honestly, like, it's so good for you that I want people to know it's not just a delicious shake that helps you lose weight. it's so good for you from the inside out. And you're, I've got people that are always like, oh, my baby had some today. Or not baby, but my daughter had some today, and I love that she asked for chocolate, milkshake, and I can give her this and feel good about it. So I really want to focus on the Shakeology retention, because I get this email as a diamond. You get an email at the end of the year, and they kind of say like, how many of the average of your clients to stay on Shakeology, the average of your coaches that you sign, all this stats. And I looked at my average of Shakeology retention. It was like 3 months. And I was like, okay, that's not good, So I want people to, when you talk to people, when you first say, okay, if you have a goal of 75 pounds, like that's probably going to take you, 5 or 6 months minimum. So I want to make sure that I'm setting you up, and talking about, Shakeology, long-term and the benefits of it and things like that. So you don't want to just get people to sign up and one and done. You want to kind of teach them why it's important to, maintain. And also in your challenge groups, talk up products. I posted something, I'm doing a $10 gift card for Target for anybody that shares what they purchased new this week. So anything other than Shakeology that they're trying, they're getting entered to win this, a prize for that, because I want people to see that there's other things out there. One, it's going to help your volume. Two, the more they fall in love with products, the more they're likely to recommend it to people to either give you referrals or want to become a coach themselves. So, yeah, just can't tell you enough about digging into your challenge groups and having a ton of fun in there, because that's where your best coaches likely will come from. Because, I don't like to sign up anybody that hasn't tried a Beachbody program as a coach, because I want them to not have to feel super overwhelmed. Like, I have to figure out the workouts, I have to figure out the meal plan, I have to figure out coaching, and oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. What did I sign up for? And no matter what, I think everybody feels like, what did I sign up for? I'm so overwhelmed. And that was me. That was probably everybody on this call. And it's okay. And Melissa is here, and she sold her first challenge pack, and yay. And, I just love to see new coaches. Like, I know she's such a typical, like, type A person. Like, I want to know this, and I feel like I need to know it all. And she didn't know it all, but she just went for it, and she asked. And that's the best thing that you can do, is just know, like, I've been a coach for 4 years and I still learn stuff. Like, so, and I saw that post I shared with you guys. Actually, did I share it in the Diamond page, or did I share it in BU? The Ruth Shar, she's like a top coach. I can't think of her name. I think I might have just showed it in the Diamond page. I need to share it. But she was just so real and raw, and it was a really great post. She, basically talking about being real, and she's like number 11 in the company, and she doesn't even have like a tracking system. She was kind of talking, and I think you should, but it just goes to show that, like, you don't have to have everything figured out. Her coach training is from 2015. Just basically saying, like, don't look at everything all these top coaches are doing and think, I need a blog, I need this, I need that, I need to learn Instagram. Just focus on you and, your target market, your warm market, and being you on Facebook first. And then we'll add that in, because you have enough as a new coach to figure out. You don't need to, like, chase all the sparkly things. So just hone in on Facebook and, and getting through that new coach training. And then once you have a handle on it, then it's like, okay, let's add Instagram. Then when you get a handle on that, you can add something else. But I don't want anybody to think that they have to master everything, because that's just not going to happen. So. But yeah. And then since you guys are talking about, like, you were talking about your coach, like, wanting to build the business. And one thing that my coach wasn't great at explaining the business. And then it took me forever to finally understand volume. And you guys know how I'm like a scatterbrain, and I stutter when I, get excited. So I'm like, I can't teach people about volume. And so I finally just got over it. And I posted in one of the groups for elite coaches, and I said, who wants to run a volume boot camp with me, because I've never done this, and I can't just keep expecting my coaches to figure it out on their own. So we are going to do a volume boot camp, I think the week after Summit, and we're going to really start focusing on how to drive your volume up. And anybody that's been here a while knows that we really used to focus on rank, and Diamond was your goal. And you know what? Now I really don't care when or if you become Diamond. I want you to become I want you to be financially free. I want you to feel don't feel anxiety over finances, and you don't have to pick a can of something or other that's 20 cents cheaper because, you know, you don't know what's in your bank account. I want that for you guys because, you guys know my story that I have been broke my entire life, like $7 in my bank account when I signed up. And, you know, to see that, you know, what this business has brought me, because I showed up when I didn't feel like it, and I worked at my business even when I wasn't seeing that return in the beginning. Like, you know, like I said, the first 30 to 90 days, people are watching you. They want to know that it works. And so that's why I'm also really big at kind of trying to push that kickstart, which is that 3-day refresh. Because when I like to tell people, you know, if they tell you yes to a challenge pack, go for no. Let them tell you no. So ask about that kickstart, which is the 3-day refresh. And I just like to say, you know, I don't know if you're interested or not, but my clients usually pick this up because it's an instant right off the bat. You're going to see results. And then I don't know about you, but when I see results, I stay really motivated. And that's kind of like the fire I need to be like, okay, I got results. I can do this. And so I just kind of say it like that. And people are like, yes, you're so right. I need that motivation. And I think that would be really good in getting me, you know, a jump start. And so all you have to do is ask, you know, do you want to add a 3-day vegan cleanse for $45? It's on sale this month. It's normally $70. And they're usually say, yeah. So, you know, it can't hurt you to, ask. The other thing is I'm going to kind of talk about is, you know, getting people, once you have your significant other signed up, get you to your Success Club goal and then put all those challenge packs under your significant other, because that is going to drive your volume up. And we're going to talk about, you know, coach placing. And if you guys have any specific questions now, I'm happy to answer that. But I actually made a photo album in Beautifully Made, and go to those photo albums because I've been slowly and surely adding to those. And, you know, commonly asked questions, one has volume, and I've been anytime I rate something to one of my coaches, I will copy and paste it and put it there, because if I'm sending it to one coach, I want everybody else to be able to see it too. So go check out our photo albums. There's some really great stuff there. But yeah, I just, you know, if you guys ever have any questions about volume, let me know. And Dennis, I know you are from Illuminate. Is Corey, are you from Illuminate, or whose coach is yours, Corey? If you're there. Heather, is Corey yours? Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, and that volume group will be open to all you guys as well. So yeah, and if you guys want to, I mean, I don't usually get too many people from Illuminate on our calls, but if you want, I can add you guys to my team page too. You know, the ones that are, you know, actively showing up on calls. I'm totally fine with doing that. But yeah, I just can't tell you guys enough that, you know, anything that, go check out Heather's social media. She is awesome at this, and she really cares about her coaches, and she doesn't see them as, you know, another, like, you don't need to have 10 coaches sign up a month, which was my big goal in 2015 was I have to have 10 coaches sign up a month. Now I might have 1 to 4 coaches, more like 1 or 2 a month, but they are already challengers. They already love the products and they're rocking it. So it is not, I want you to focus on quality and that being able to do that that one-on-one attention that Heather gives her coaches. And I really believe that's why they take off so much. So, and Rachel being there to show up with her every day. So yeah, if you need a success partner, I want you to find one, or at least get into a little pod of coaches. So yeah, any other questions for Heather? Okay, well, Dennis and Corey.
Picture with everybody?
What?
I want to make a post. Can I get a picture with everybody?
Oh, yeah.
No, you may not.
Smile. My hair is so bad. Well, what's new? It couldn't be worse than the other post I made.
Your eyes were closed. Hang on.
That's probably fine.
All right, ready? There we go.
I have to cover this.
April, your post killed me.
What?
April's post today killed me.